What's up, you guys? Guenther here. Very stoked on today's video. We're gonna do a little hot tip, and this is gonna be parking your wakeboard boat. Currently in an Axis A24, so 24.5 feet. We're gonna be parking the boat in a couple different scenarios, but right now we're on my backyard, on a canal. We've got really nice parking conditions with light wind, no rollers, and no bystanders. So, something to keep in mind when you go to park yours. But let's dive right in. Here we go. Before we begin though, there are a couple things that I kind of want to just throw out there. I think these are like just great tips and something to keep in mind as we go through the process. Number one, always approach the dock as fast as you want to hit it, which I'm assuming is pretty slow. Number two is that for most V drives and inboard boats, they're gonna back to the right. And so what I mean by that is that out on the transom, on the starboard side, it's gonna move to the right. So we can use that in our advantage as we go to park the boat. Three, small movements with the throttle go a really long way. And number four, this is kind of just a generic safety tip, but make sure that all your passengers stay put through the parking process, right? Kind of position them beforehand, but really it's not worth crushing fingers, crushing arms or legs to save the boat. We want to put safety first here. All right, that covers it. Let's get going. I'm just gonna keep throwing tips your way, but when we're in the Malibu or the Axis, it's really nice to have the wedge and stow and all your ballast empty. This just allows for a much effortless and fluid parking process. We're approaching our dock, and now the dock is on our port side. And as we approach it, right, we want to come in nice and slow. And we do want to set it up to where our nose is going to swing over to the port side and almost just come right up to the edge of the dock. And we're at idle speed, and I click it out of gear, and we're just kind of coasting in. From there, I like to put it in reverse, and I'm going to spin the wheel to the right as I simultaneously reverse. But right here, I can take my hands off the wheel, and the boat is just gonna rotate around. The momentum that I brought into the turn and the propeller spinning around is gonna help bring me into that turn and into the parking process. Now I gotta spin the wheel back so I can kind of just get my nose off onto the corner of the dock, and now my momentum's still kind of carrying me in. However, if I keep up this approach, I'll swing too hard with the right side of the boat. So that's why I counter a little steer to the right, and then now I'm the driver, I'm right next to the dock. I can just give it a couple, just a little pinch or reverse, and once again, the way the propeller's spinning is gonna pull the back of the boat right over to the dock, and now I can kind of take my hands off the throttle. I'm gonna try to stay away from this. I don't wanna end up bumping this as I reach over to grab the rope, but now the boat's right here, and I mean, that was pretty much easy. I can turn the boat off, and now I'm right at the dock. And so the biggest thing with that, right, is that we're using small throttle movements, and we're trying to let our momentum that we came into the dock with help, complete the park job essentially, while going just as slow as possible, only as fast as we want to hit the dock. So that previous example isn't your parking situation, and we're, parking on a dock that's on the starboard side, with us the driver being on the starboard, but we want to spin the boat around in full 180. We don't have thrusters. But once again, we're referring back to using that initial momentum of the boat and trying to carry that around. So we'll approach the same way, but just with a wheel to the right, turn into the starboard side. And now we're gonna kind of carry that momentum, spin the wheel back, and then throw it into reverse. Obviously, like I said before, in that situation, the prop wants to pull us this way, but with a little bit of that rudder movement, we can counter it and the momentum that we built initially. Give it one more so we can have plenty of space away from the dock. Always keeping in mind what's behind us. But now I can tell that I've cleared the dock high and wide, and then reposition with a turn to the right. That kind of brings my nose off the dock. There we go, we're looking good. And then from here, spin it back around. So that way we can just kind of try to just gently tap into the corner. I'll turn the boat off, exit the driver's seat, and just make sure that the boat's nice and secure. Guys, well, I hope these tips were helpful. And even if these don't apply to you perfectly, I hope those first kind of 4 tips I threw out were, right? Just let's be patient, let's be gentle on the throttle, let's not come into the dock super fast. All those things I hope can be helpful and just make your time on the water a little bit more enjoyable. But thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and follow along for more. Peace.